This hospital needs to stay open so that people that live locally can be treated locally in a first-class hospital that's friendly. It needs to be kept open so that people don't have to travel miles and miles away when they're elderly or mentally or physically challenged, when they're parents that are having to take toddlers with them on 2 bus journeys just to go for an appointment for either the parent or one of the children. Also, it needs to come back to the people of Hinckley, because Hinckley people originally funded it with a lot of fundraising. Big families in Hinckley itself, like the Atkins family, the Hurst family, they all funded it as well with donations. Donations have been left to the hospital through their families. It belongs to the people of Hinckley, to the town of Hinckley, and it was taken over by the NHS in 1948. Not a penny was paid for it. It was brought in by the NHS Service Act that went through the NHS Service Bill that made it legally correct what they did. It did not make it morally correct, not in my opinion.
And you feel this building's just been left a bit now, and now they're saying it's too old and not fit for purpose?
Yes. In the 68 years that NHS had this building, they promised twice to do extensions and improvements. And at the time of it happening, there was no money. It's always the same excuse. It seems to me that we are the poor relations to the big hospitals in the city of Leicester, which is basically the Leicester Royal Infirmary. There always seems to be money there for building on, extending. The last extension actually pulled down the chapel to make that extension for A&E, and they are still struggling. They are still having 24 ambulances at a time standing outside the LRI waiting to go in. Surely, to me, the obvious thing would be to leave the local cottage hospitals and district hospitals open so we can alleviate the pressure that is coming all the time onto one hospital that's going to cover the whole of Leicestershire and Rutland. That is not feasible, and it is not workable.
So what would be your message to not only the bosses here, but more widely, the politicians looking at NHS spending decisions? What would be your message to them?
My message to the politicians of this country at the moment is that this NHS came in as a service with a promise of free medical care to every man, woman and child in this country from the point of access. Over the years, politicians and big men have got hold of it. At the moment, we've got 69 senior management positions at the top of NHS England. They all have to have wages, and they come first before the actual service that is being taken away from here. So please, please rethink this. This is important not only for us in Hinckley, but for every single cottage hospital and voluntary-led hospital that was taken over, probably legally, but certainly not morally, in 1948 by the NHS.
I can go that.
Nice one.
Lovely.